Hope everybody's having a good Sunday. See what's going on for Monday. Just killing a little bit of time waiting for the kiddo. I did go to the old, I think I got it here somewhere. I did go to the old harbor. The harbor snake. They get you, right? The harbor snake. I'll show you what I got if you want to see it. If somebody lets me know in the comments. Oh, man. It's kind of a gloomy, doomy day a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Just kind of hanging out. Thinking about Monday, trying to get stuff. I got to get the truck loaded back up. I don't think we're going to take another... I don't think we're going to take the van. Because I don't think we got to haul the lift. Because I think we're going to be... Oh, it's going to be a little bit of time, you know what I mean? At that job. We got 6 doors done for PMs. I got to also make sure I get a grease zerk because we ripped one off. Anybody got a great grease zerk that they love? Like that can fit in tight spots in a nutshell that, you know, I thought you could adjust the end by the screw. I tore it apart a little bit, but I mean, it's just like, wow, they hang on so tight. I see they got the ones that snap on. It's called a gator, I think is what I seen. But I don't know if that little lever thing is going to fit in there. I feel like you got to always have like a little bag, right? Some they can get in 90s. You got to have the one that's like a pin. If you ever had to do U-joints on a truck, you got to have just a regular one. You got to have the gator one. So it's a little bit challenging. I always feel bad. I was trying to explain to Mr. Caleb like how you got to kind of do the rip off. You know what I mean? You got to kind of pop, twist and pop. Always turn it right, right? Always turn it right, keeping it tight. And this one I think might have been a little bit loose and it just popped off. So I destroyed the threads on it. I grabbed it so hard trying to get it. Tanner's in the house. What's up, Mr. Tanner? You guys got snow over there? We got a dust. We got a dust of snow over here. The roads were not the best last night. It's kind of crummy. It's kind of crummy. They got the salt out today, so... Ooh. Oh, burping. Oh, man. Been a long time since I've done that. I did it to I think my oldest. I always do it to once in a while when they're acting like babies. I always grab them. As they start getting older, you know, they don't come around anymore. You know, they don't really snuggle you. They don't really sleep with you anymore. I don't know if your little one sleeps with mama. Ours has slept with them always as they were growing up. Not much of a cage, not a cage of a cage. I put them in the dog cage. What do you call it? Baby cradle, whatever. What the heck is it called? It's called a baby something. I can't think of what it's called. Brain's mush right now. Burke, what you got going this week, Burke? You got some new jobs coming up, which is awesome. That's great to hear. Like I said, we'll see how it goes, man. I watch a lot of economics. I don't want to be the gloom and doom. I think you can do anything, you know, as long as you put the marketing, the advertising, you provide good service. You know, I think we're kind of somewhat economically resistant as long as you're flexible, where if you got to turn into service, if, you know, because like all it takes is like, at least from what I remember, is when the old stock market and stuff, when they put that fear, man, which we don't control, right? You all and myself, we do not control the media. The powers that be control the media, and all I got to do is start spreading that fear. And the next thing you know, the consumer, the residential people, will lock up because they feel like they got all their wealth in the 401k, stock market, house, and all they got to tell you is not there. Everything's crashing. It's not doing good, and they'll follow suit. So 2 likes, by the way. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like button too. If you don't mind hitting the like, if you dislike, always hit it twice. That way I really get it. So, yeah. I was watching Tony. Oh, man, Tony's on? Has Tony got a video? I swear, I was just grazing through the old YouTube. I didn't check his exact channel out. Well, god darn it. Or was it like an Owen? Sometimes he sends the Batman signal out, so we know. Didn't get no Batman signal, darn it. So I was just sitting here. Like I said, I was kind of zonked out with the whole. I was watching. I got done. I was watching Peter Schiff this morning. I was getting ready, and yeah, I tend to agree with him a little bit, kind of about the economy. And something's really silly, you know what I mean? I'm not you know, it's one of those things like I'm kind of, you know, I'm kind of glad, like, you know, I was kind of glad at least I didn't have to hear Mumbling Joe anymore. You know, at least it was something better to look at in a nutshell. But you know, they're all in one party. I don't care if you're a D or if you're an R. You know what I mean? And but kind of what's going on, I still can't understand this whole tariff thing. You know what I mean? As far as I know, we pay for it, and so we're, you know. Then I heard they were doing a refund. Like I said, so does that mean was it March 2nd, March 3rd? Is LiftMaster not going to do a price increase? Right? Tariffs are off for now. I mean, they'll have obviously the 10% that whatever Mr. T is going to add or something. I have no idea. A bassinet. Now that was not what I was thinking. That was not what it was. A baby crib. That's what I'm thinking. A baby crib. Right? The baby crib. I remember my first baby. I remember how it was a panic. We had to get the room finished. I had my wife. I had my mother-in-law. Oh my gosh, you gotta get the baby room done. I got it all done, and like it was 5 years later until they used the stinking bedroom. Got my uncle, man. He was so cool. He ended up putting hearts up on the ceiling, like in the, you know, for the baby's room and stuff. It was pretty cool in the mud, and yeah. And then didn't even really use it. I don't remember. I don't even think the kids even. I don't even think the kids even. It was like a toy room. It turned into like a toy room. Because I don't remember if she had two with her at once. She might have had two of the ones. I don't know, but you got to enjoy it. You really do, because it goes by so fast. From you, Mr. Berg. First, 10 seconds. Cut safety cable. It was holding top track. Oh no. Oh, it fell down. Maybe that was the one. I think he was. Yeah, I think that was the one that we were on the live. He was telling about, right, with the jack. He was using it, fell off the jack, or something like that. He's got the opener head. He messaged me about that yesterday, so hopefully it works good for him. Hopefully he can get that customer up and running with that. It's awesome. That's awesome. Are you going to eat the increase, pass it through customers, or add plus your own increase? It'll just go to the customer. It always does. It always does. You know what I mean? But honestly, if it was me, like I said, I don't really dictate what the guys want to use. Like, I know every situation. Like that guy I was just talking to at the shop, he was like, I told him about that used opener, and I could already smell, you know, I could smell the dog crap. And I was like, I said something about it. I go, whoa. He goes, well, does it have, is it like, will it connect to your phone? And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. I said, this really isn't it. And so his mind is already telling him he wants one connected to his phone. So in that case, if you really want one connected to your phone, then I go LiftMaster. You know what I mean? I think they got the best tech support. I think they're the most, like, there's just all kinds of information on the internet for them. Do I think they're glitchy? And do I think they're not as maybe reliable? Possibly. But that's also why I'm always telling you guys, I'm not committed. You know what I mean? I am not committed to Toyota. I am not committed to Chevy. I'm not committed to Ford, because I know, I'm not stupid. I know there were certain years that they had good engineers, they had good intents, and then there was other years that the government got in the way. They made them do restrictions. I'm watching this. I got this dude with this beautiful truck next to me. He's got the Eco Diesel, and I want to tell him, say, like, dude, you shouldn't let that truck idle. Like, that plugs those trucks up. Those trucks do not like to idle. You know, it's a Dodge 1500. It's got the Eco Diesel. I don't know much about, but you know, with all the emissions on it, you know, beautiful truck though. You know what I mean? But that thing wants to be ran, man. It wants to be ran hard. Get her hot. Blow out the crap. The carbon, like grandma. And it's a little bit noisy. He's kind of parked next to me. I don't think he can hear me. He's got his window down. But it's a little chattery. I thought it was just a regular until he pulled up. Oh, Simpson. Well, good morning, by the way. Well, I guess it's good afternoon for us. We got 1:15 on the watch here. Probably gonna do lunch. We'll see what the kiddo wants. She might want. Does anybody you guys got Culver's next to you? She likes Culver's. She got a little bummed yesterday because she likes a plain burger. Plain, no nothing, no condiments, no nothing. Burger, meat, and buns. And they came out and gave her cheese. And she looks at me, and of course I eat like anything. I'm not picky, so I'm like, what? What's the problem? And I'm like, finally it dawned. I was like, it's got cheese. And I'm so proud of her though. She did a really good job. I always push my kids. That's what you should do too. You should always push your kids to be out there in that public. So I made her. She goes up there. She's a rock star. This one, she's good. She's like, she just said, I want you to come up and supervise just in case. So I kind of stood off to the side. I guess she wanted Papa Bear in case I had to get grumpy with them or something, which they were super cool, super nice. It's Culver's. Come on, man. They're going to take good care of you. So they ended up giving her, they gave her this, whatever this is. I don't know what this is, a whole free ice cream scoop or something. I guess enjoy a free single scoop of custard. So anyway, she got that. They ended up, they forgot the pretzel bites. I think they're called pretzel bites. And so they ended up adding that onto it too. And then, of course, since we opened up the burger, they said, do you want the old one? And I'm like, heck yeah, I want the old one. I'm like, dude, that's a midnight snack. Come on. Can't let that, just go throw that in the garbage. There's starving people out there. So it was all good. So what do you guys got going this weekend? Rusty, you got anything? Tanner, you got anything lined up? Got anything today you got to get set up? Like I said, I got to put the truck together. I think I got most of the stuff in my back seat. I did get something though. This is Rich B's advice. He makes me spend my money. I think he's sponsored or something. So I'm gonna try it out. So I'm gonna try it out. We'll see. I watched some videos on it. I didn't see anything really talking about how long it lasts. But we got all kinds of air there. And then what was really cool, I thought, man, if I had the Milwaukee air compressor, like you could just do it up in the lift. Like that'd be sweet. And I think you can set it and it would just pump the air to whatever pressure you want. I think they say like it ranges 90 to 120, which I'm surprised. That seems like a ticking time bomb, especially from Harbor Freight. Ooh, wear your safety glasses. But it said not to exceed, I think 200 is what the person said. I didn't read the instructions myself, right? Who does that? So you got to watch, yeah. So I think I should bring maybe I'll bring one of my gauges so we can pump it up, because I don't know what kind of air. This is a big truck place. So they might run 250 PSI for big impacts or something. I don't know how high you can go without blowing stuff. And so, just to be safe, I think I should go that route. Oh, gotta clean the truck, get ready for the week. Burke, do you got do you got a garage that you can park the truck in and clean out your stuff? The reason I'm asking is because I was thinking about like Caleb. I keep telling him, like, dude, as a man, you need all you need is like a man cave. You know what I mean? It's so nice to have something where you can just open up your doors, vacuum out your truck, put your stuff in, at least get out of the wind, even if it's not really heated, just get out of the elements. It's nice for a van or for a truck. But Rest Dad is going to Clover to pick up parts we need. As a service all week. Keep trying to get the new building. Yeah. Dad's not going to Clopay today, right? He's going, I'd assume, tomorrow. Clopay's not open today, I don't think, right? Not on Sunday, day of rest. Oh, this guy just shut this off, so must be walking. Service all weekend, get new build done. What else? Says, I'm sure we got a bunch going next week, but as of today, we're all kind of sickish. Okay, yeah. Keeping her newborn part cold for, oh man, I get that, man. I got the we got the kiddo, my oldest right now. She's got something, man. She's like coughing and she's got sore throat. It's a mess. And like it's like I wish I wish I had a limousine right now because I'd park her in the back because she's coughing and she's sniffling and I'm just like, please don't get me sick. I keep telling her. I'm like trying to like watch everything I touch. I'm like trying not to touch my eyes or, you know, scratch my nose or whatever because I'm just like every time she's next to me right now, I'm like, come on, man, come on. Just chilling at home. That's nice. I'm gonna be happy once we can all actually get back home and be a family. It'll be nice because the wife's gone. She's out of, oh, don't touch again. She's out of state. And then she'll be back. So it'll be nice to get everything back in order. And then Monday I'll be off to the races. My guess is they didn't schedule much for Monday. Let me check real quick. I might blank out. They got a door on there. Door install. And then we'll be at PM's. And then it looks like we have one runner. We'll see what happens. Just never know. But that's good. I'm glad. I like to see they schedule something. You know what I mean? Might as well. Might as well not waste a day. Schedule something. Leave it somewhat free. We got enough. We got enough guys around if we need to. If something kind of comes up. Then I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They got door installs, and then I don't know what Friday. Friday happens. That stuff, man. You want to move that stuff as fast as you can. You don't want product sitting. I hate product sitting. You know what I mean? Get it out the door. That way you start figuring out the problems. You figure out if it's damaged. You figure out if there's an issue. You figure out if you need low headroom. You figure out if something got wrong. You grab the wrong. Just get that stuff out. The faster you can get it out, the better. No, Clopay tomorrow. Yeah, so I figured. What time's like Clopay? What's their hours like? Just curious. They like, do they do like 6:30 or 7? I'm just curious. In the morning, or how late do they go in the evening too? They only go to like 4 or something, or do they like go to 5 or 6? Any weird like late hours? Let vendors come pick stuff up. Do you ever have any conflict with that? Like, I never really bothered me, but I know like when we used to go to our one, it was, you know what I mean. You could tell they tried to somewhat keep us separate a little bit instead of it being like a coffee shop. We're all sitting there congregating or being like, "Oh yeah, you son of a biscuit, yeah, you got that one job. I bid that job. That was my customer." Just curious. Have any plans for this week? Yeah, my plans are just hopefully take it easy. Try to stay warm, take it easy. If I have to let you go abruptly, it's because my kiddo comes. I don't know if I messaged her, but sometimes she'll come eventually. Having windows and new garage. I'm thinking about a mini split for heating and cooling with brand. Did you use in your office? I think it was Toso or Tasa. The only thing I have to complain about mine is I really don't like the settings on the remote. You know what I mean? I think you can buy a thermostat wall button, or wall station, but man, I have a hard time distinguishing between heat and cold. Well, like one's supposed to show a sun or something, but it's like I had to literally the other night I googled it because I was like, what the hell symbol is this? Is this snowflake, or is this where even the old one, the Fusco or whatever, Fusco, it was like more, you could have like an automatic. I don't think you can buy the Fusco or whatever, or Fiski or whatever, FUS something, I forget what they are. But those are like what all the kind of the professional guys use. You know what I mean? I think they're pretty decent and pretty nice. But then it's like you can do like the Mr. Cool from Lowe's, and that one you don't have to like supposedly like suck out the lines. So You know, there's those ones, but I don't know. I've been pretty happy. It's just the you know, once you're set on it, you're fine. I just shut the power off to it, and then it was, you know, that was kind of the issue. And you got to remember that in this one we went a higher BTU too, and this one seemed like it never stalled out. The other one we had was a little bit under, and when it got about that 15 or whatever degrees is where they struggle. I think is it negative 15 or 15? I can't remember. I think it's 15 is where they start struggling. So that's my only complaint is the remote. Like my cousin was asking about it too, and I said he wanted to get it for somebody, and I said I wouldn't do this one. I said I don't think they'll be understanding the remote. But I guess you could do like a little printout or do a little icon, you know what I mean, or right in the back of the remote so you know. Making a mistake by not having windows and new garage. I don't know about the new garage. I know you're one, but you had windows. I don't know. It just all depends what you're trying to do. I don't like people seeing stuff. So, you know what I mean? If you got, you know, if you're not going to man it and stuff, you don't want people looking in. Windows lose heat, you know? I mean, I guess you can always put curtains over them or something. 330. But I do recommend if you do a mini split, you want to go with a 220. I know PT Papa Tony bought that 115, and I have the feeling I can't put words, you know, in his mouth, but I have a feeling that he's not the most happiest with it. So you gotta, I would say in my brain, I would say 220 is you gotta do a 220 unit. Oh, I'm gonna frame inside for an office. That's nice, man. Can't, you know, it's amazing. It's weird. My brain always thinks about how rooms work. You know what I mean? You know, kind of growing up as a man, you're kind of like, you know, whatever. You live in a one studio apartment or something, right? But then as like I've gotten older and just, you know, you want your little space for whatever between customers or, you know, kids or whatever. You know, rooms are nice. Room separations are nice. You just can't really go wrong with rooms. You can turn stuff into storage. You can turn stuff into a computer space. To the power bill, gosh, I don't really know. You know, the thing always is there. So for so many years, I don't know. But I mean, it's so nice, and you want to have it on basically an exterior wall. You know, that unit, because you got to remember that unit drains. You know, it gets condensation in it, so it's got to have a drain. But I don't think it's a ton. I mean, there's nothing that's crazy. I know it's a better feeling than having a gas bill during the summer, that there's nothing that we'd use for gas. So we just pay a little bit more in electric. But it's so nice in the summertime to have that air conditioning on a hot summer day. And it just does both, and it blows, and it's automatic. I mean, the only thing I thought about I would do different was Rich B was telling me about the insert ones that you put in the wall, like basically like think of like a hotel room. And if I was to redo it, I would probably consider one, but we don't really have the space in the office for it to be. But I like the idea that you cut the hole right in the side of the building, you frame it in, whatever, and then you just have a unit that you basically just, you know, like when that thing pukes out one day, you just take that whole unit and just go get another one. You know what I mean? Just like a hotel room. You just gotta basically boom, hook up wires. What was nice is you didn't have to bleed the system. It should be all concealed in itself. It's all made from the manufacturer, or like that Toso or whatever one I have. Like it was making a little bit of noise the other day, and I was like, why is it making that noise? Is it low on Freon? Did I not tighten up something? Did I install something wrong? Where this one, you know, I think of it as basically like an air conditioning unit, you know, you'd stick in a window. I love those things to a certain degree, right? Because you just, you know what I mean? You just take it out, put another one in, you know what I mean? On a hot summer day when you really need it, boom. Where this one, you know, we got the brackets now, but you got to run, you know, the copper, and you got to run the connection wire and stuff. And it's not horrible, but, you know, looking back, if I was to redo it, I probably would have done just an insert, because I could just buy that freight. I could just slide in that unit, put a couple screws in that keep it, whatever. You got your panel right there. Boop, boop, boop. You know, it's just like at a hotel room. You want cold, you want heat. The only thing I've noticed with my um, mini split is what I would do differently probably if I was going to. What I don't like is I can hear the hum of it now because it's mounted to the building, and that hum, it makes me sound. It sounds like when like a semi truck, a really nice brand new semi truck or something, or a box truck pulls up, where it's got that weird like it makes me constantly, like when it fires up, and it has different speeds, so it'll like start out slow, then it gets more, and I'm like, what the hell's that? Where's that? Like I'm looking at the cameras, I'm like, is there a delivery truck here? What's going on? Don't really notice it during the day when the traffic's zooming by, but at nighttime, it's constantly always like, what is that noise? Where I would probably put it like on a concrete pad. Um, so that's the only thing I would, for, especially if like you're gonna do like your house, if you're gonna have a bedroom or something, I always think to myself, I go, don't put it on the wall. Oh, frame it. How much does that? Hey, dude, back. How are you? You are back. Well, howdy. Nice to see you again. Um, my garage is wired for 115 amp. I think I would probably look for a different option. You know what I mean? Especially when you need heat. You know what I mean? Like when you need it, baby. You know what I mean? Like if you got to bring a vehicle in or you got to thaw something out and you need some heat, you need some horsepower. And that's another thing. If you're not going to keep it at a certain temp all the time, I don't know. You might have to ask PT about that. You know what I mean? But I just get the illusion, the feeling. I haven't done enough research on it, that the 115 is just not powerful enough. Like I'm glad I went higher in the BTUs a little bit, and this one didn't phase it. Didn't phase it at all. Where the other one, yeah, you get some 15 degrees or colder days, man. It was like you kind of go in there and it's like, whoo, it's kind of a little brisk in here. Um, so they're not big workhorses. They're more or less like you set it and forget it. You know what I mean? So if I was dealing 11500 amp, I would probably be thinking about like a couple 100 pounds. You know what I mean? Propane, or get a pig, and then get me a real, you know, get me a furnace, a wall furnace, or however, whatever seems to work the best. You know what I mean? That's just me, because boy, you can't beat the old propane. Or if you get like a diesel furnace or something, even, but that gets water, contamination if you don't use it all the time. So oh, that's a good question. Matt's guy says, how do you hire and train good techs? Well, my opinion is is I like personality first. I used to go off like experience and that, and I never had good luck with that. You want to see that they kind of come from a good background, they're honest, they fit the part, they got the pants. When they're interviewing and stuff, I like to send somebody out, or myself, I would go out and check their car, because if they're trash, their car, cigarette butts and everything everywhere, they're gonna probably do that to your vehicle. And so cleanliness is a good thing. Just things that fit. If you see that they're bouncing a lot, like they only spend 6 months or a year at a job, that's kind of a, but if you can start out with somebody sometimes young. It's hard when you're young. You know what I mean? When I was young, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard to find, because I'd find young kids, and it's like they don't know nothing, and then they live in their parents' basement, and then it's like they don't have no drive. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't have to work. You know what I mean? So it's hard. Now I'm getting older, just a little bit. You know, the youngers look up to you. You know what I mean? It's easier to, I got wisdom. You ain't gotta tell me, whippersnapper. But it's just, sometimes you gotta go through 100 to find the one. It feels like, you know what I mean? But it takes time. But it's like planting a tree. You want to start sooner than later. I'm back. What are you doing? You leaving? Coming back? What's going on here? I love garage doors. Good, good. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You know what I mean? It just, you can go through and try to vet them. Don't be afraid to, if you want to have somebody else there, or interview them, 1 or 2 or 3 times. You know what I mean? And just, if it really, it's about using your gut. You know what I mean? If stuff, and the more you do it, the better you get. You know what I mean? Like now it's nothing for me. You know what I mean? I can probably sniff somebody out a lot faster than I could back then. But that's because I've gone through a lot. You know what I mean? So it's just better just to get in there and just have at it, you know. Or just get them signed up as like a sub, you know what I mean, or something like that. There's all different options. Sometimes it's better to pay them cash for maybe a couple weeks or a month, you know, before you get them, before you spend all that time getting them, you know, make sure that whole system works. Kind of like a girlfriend, you know, like I kind of like, you know, I get that people want to be married, but it's also nice to be like, you kind of move in and then you see, you know, does she wash dishes? Does she do laundry? Does she, you know, her feet are purple, you know, and, you know, I don't want to look at purple feet all the time or, you know, whatever. Crazy Tire, what's up, Eric? Ready for summer so I can try fan. Eric got me. Nice. So it will be for a room like 10 by 10. Yeah, I mean, 10 by 10's smaller than mine. We had a 16 by 16, so it's a shop. You know, I guess it depends. I mean, if you can insulate it really good, that would help. If you can insulate the crap out of it, you know, then a 115 probably be okay. You know what I mean? I probably wouldn't sweat that too much. Oh, I don't need to heat it. Just use like a torpedo heater or something. Torpedo heaters work good. Work on my air conditioner in the garage. Oh yeah, 3 years ago, but the fan motor started to go out. Occasionally it eats through power. Yeah. Well, the fan that you recommended, the one that you recommended from Amazon, Eric is still working. Still is running pretty much 24/7. Runs my little heat box thing, and it's working good. So I think the thing's getting plugged up. Where in the flip flops? I want this kid to tell me she wants lunch. I don't need lunch, but I want lunch. Something yummy. So I don't know. But like I said, we'll be over doing some PMs probably Monday and Tuesday. I think we're gonna go take that lift back. I think either on Wednesday. It goes back. And then we'll be back down to the old standard. The way it's going, I don't know. They might have to get another lift. We'll see. We'll see. The way it keeps going, flying. I think I'm gonna walk up here in a minute because I don't see the youngster, so she should be heading out, you would think, but maybe not. I don't know anything nowadays. But anywho, I'm out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching. You got anything? Text, email, YouTube, comment, all that good stuff. Like I said, we'll try out the sprayer hopefully tomorrow. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I hope it's fantastic, and I hope it's everything you were hoping for, and I hope the weather is sunny and shiny and warm, which it's not going to be. I think they're saying end of the week for us is when we start warming up again. Ooh, industrial one. Eric, when are you going to start building us an opener? Or when are you going to start rebuilding openers so we can send you these openers and just rebuild them, because it's getting ridiculous out here, man. These openers are just nothing but garbage. Garbage. We need dependable, we need the, which ones were they? You know, the Alisters or whatever, all these other ones. Stanley even was halfway decent sometimes, right? The old Liftmasters. You know, we need help out here, big time. So get on it, man. Start stamping them out. Get a stamper. Stamp them out, make gears, get the vendors lined up. Should just take little old Oscos and take their platform and rebuild them. Challenger. I don't know if the Challenger were like Stanleys to me. Sometimes they lasted 5 years, sometimes they last 20 years. They were always kind of give or take, right? I think the J-arm is what I hated. That was the Wayne Dalton one, right? That weird hooked J-arm with that little screw with a spring in it. It's weird. I don't know. That's a weird something. All right, guys, over and out. Take care. We'll see ya.